we go to that African National Congress Lekgotla that's currently underway. It's an online event. The country's economy is dominating the agenda of the National Executive Committee Lekgotla that started yesterday and will continue until Monday. Efforts to jumpstart the economy after an unprecedented economic crisis caused by the coronavirus pandemic are also featuring on the agenda of this virtual meeting. ANC members deployed to all three spheres of government, alliance partners, as well as representatives of business are attending the meeting. It takes place in the midst of an unprecedented economic crisis, as we said, caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. South Africa's failing economy, compounded by distressed state-owned enterprises like Eskom and SAA, will also feature highly on the agenda for this crucial NEC Lekgotla. The local economy plunged 51% in the second quarter during hard lockdown, and it will be all hands on deck for today's meeting to jumpstart the economy. Political analyst Xolani Dube joins us on the line for an analysis of the meeting. Babu Dube, sawubona ninjani?
Siyabingelela nawe Mamudete to the viewers.
What are your expectations for this meeting that comes in a week when we've seen much activity amidst the law enforcement officers in relation to people who are either within the ANC or are backers of the ANC?
I can summarize by saying we are living in a dizzy world, if I rephrase Timmy Thomas's song. And I don't think that this vicious cycle of dizziness is going to help us at all, except that it's showing us how incapable and how incompetent we are in terms of dealing with the most basic issues that are affecting the South Africans.
Well, several ANC officials, including former MP, as we said, MP Vincent Smith and former Mangaung Executive Mayor Olim Lamleli, as well as a number of business people, were arrested by the Hawks this week. From what you say, you don't sound convinced that there will be convictions. So you're saying these are just for show?
Look, you know, what you have to accept is that ANC at a particular time, they always lock horns around who's supposed to be the president in the next elections. And I think what is happening currently, we see the fight of faction in the ANC using the state machinery as a weapon in their own internal battles. Because we know very well now that there are different factions in the ANC. And unfortunately, a certain faction is using state machinery to fight other faction, but using our emotions and our outcry to say, let the government fight the corruption. But the fact of the matter is, they are not fighting the corruption, but they are fighting their own battles. Because if they are fighting against or they are fighting corruption in our country, today, we'll be celebrating saying so-and-so is behind bars and is wearing orange overalls. And so these are just scarecrows to say, move away from the contestation of power. Let me be comfortable. If you come near to the contestation, I would unleash the state machinery against you. And so we need not to be fooled. These are just ANC factional battles using the state machinery. We've been here before. And now we are here. But the question that we have to ask ourselves as South Africans, for how long are we going to be abused by the ruling party in our country?
Quite interesting what you're saying. So you reckon it's just power play. Now, former Treasurer General and now Health Minister Dr. Zweli Mkhize is one of the impacted people. He has denied receiving money from Edwin Sodi for his personal benefit. He put out a long denial on social media yesterday. What do you make of his responses?
Look, remember that there was an outcry against the functioning of Chancellor House. And also, Lucky Montana pointed to Zweli Mkhize saying he gave him about 80 million. And also here again, Babu Zweli Mkhize is agreeing, is not denying that money was given to the ANC. And so we have to ask ourselves, how come that the ANC is supposed to survive on monies from people who are pillaging our resources? It means that in a way, ANC is having no problem of receiving donations from people who are rogue. That's what he was telling us, that I have not received the money, but the money is with the ANC. ANC is comfortable and is happy to receive money from such kind of people. And what makes one really be very sad is the fact that the staff in the ANC is saying they have not been paid. And so one has to ask a very painful question. Is the ANC even stealing from itself? And so if ANC steal from itself, who is safe in this country? Is the future generation safe at the hands of the ANC who steals from themselves? Because the staff is saying they've not been paid, but others are saying we gave so and so money so that the ANC can be able to function. And so where the money disappear, and if the staff is not paid, and so that's why I'm saying ANC is becoming a disgrace to the South African, but sadly, it's becoming a disgrace to those who died for this liberation of our country.
Yeah. Let's take it back to the details. During his testimony at the Zondo Commission, Edwin Sodi said his company, Blackhead Consulting, had made several payments to the ANC. Should the ANC pay back this money if proved that this money was the proceeds of crime?
You know, that's why I'm saying it's such a very interesting thing here. If really the guy paid to the ANC, and Babu Mkhize, he agreed that no, the guy paid to the ANC. The biggest question is ANC still an honorable organization? Is ANC still the leader of society? Is the ANC still the torchbearers of the moral and ethics in our country? The answer is a very simple one. Not anymore. And so that's the dilemma that the stalwarts like Obabu Mavuso Msimang, Obabu Thabo Mbeki, and the others must stand up and say, not in the name of the ANC. Let's fold this brand and put it in the library. And those who move around scheming people, claiming that they represent the ANC, let them not do that under this brand. Let them do that at their own peril. And so I think if really ANC want us to say when we come to media, ANC is not corrupt, let them fold the brand and put it in the archives, and then let's see really who are thieves who hide behind this brand.
You alluded to the long-standing narrative of factionalism within the ANC. Will the arrests not lead to growing, growth of this phenomena within the party?
Desri, what you said, ANC received money that was irregular, obtained through corruption. Is the top leaders of the ANC who are the recipient of that money going to be arrested? Are we going to arrest Babu Zweli Mkhize? Are we going to arrest the president of this country? Are we going to arrest Babu Kwete Mantashe and the others? We have to ask that question.
Apologies, but as you know, it's a live show and we need to cross live to another event. But thank you so much for your thoughts this morning.
Thanks a lot, Desiree, as well as to the viewers.